random junk from the archives.
Very good morning to you. Thanks very much for coming to see us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a fabulous album.
Thank you.
And back after a while. What brought you back?
I just needed some time, I suppose. I was, getting rid of things in my life and changing things, and went through a lot and sort of deconstructed and reconstructed. Had my twins, and I just needed a break, and then I needed to be re-inspired, which brought me to England, actually. So. And
clearly, the way to get inspired is to play darts and keep sheep. Is that right?
No, sheep herding. Apparently.
Is that what you do?
There are sheep on my property. There's a proper farmer who takes care of them.
So you're not actually hands-on, kind of.
I did
sheep
actually.
shearing.
I will say the closest I came is that there was a little poorly one born last spring that we bottle fed and took care of. Very sweet. And we still have him, and that's as close as I've come. I'm sorry to disappoint.
That's not in any way disappointing. So your twins must have loved that as well.
Oh no, they did. They bottle. They're quite aggressive when you bottle feed them, but it was fun.
Does this mean that this sheep follows you around now because
he did? He would run. He'd come every day. I'd go out with a bottle, and he would come running, and it was very sweet.
So has England become a bit of a retreat?
Very
retreat
much.
For you? I mean, a place where you feel good, comfortable, safe?
Yes, I just find it so. It's just things I appreciate that I never have done before. Even just walks and gardening and my sweet little village and amazing people. Really simple. What you see is what you get. I've just really kind of adopted it, hoping that it will adopt me.
Well, and I guess the contrast being inevitably because of your dad and the life you led before, the scrutiny that you've led your life under has been, I mean, I'm trying to think of anyone else who's had that kind of scrutiny from such an early age. I mean, how do you place that stuff now?
I think that it's just separating, keeping very normal balance, which I think my mom instilled into me early, just having, it's separate, the celebrity part is in increments for specific times, but keeping everything extremely normal so that you don't go too far, one way or the other. Keep your head straight.
And you presumably have very, strong memories of your dad as well, wouldn't you? Because you would remember him extremely well.
Yes.
What are your fondest memories? Or
I have a lot. A lot of it was just being alone with him. He had set himself up in my room upstairs and had a chair and a table and a TV. So at any time he'd be in there watching TV or just
with you.
I think he just kind of it was like a retrieve for him to come in and sit there. So I could wake up in the middle of the night and he'd be there and we would talk and I would ask him. I think one time I asked him, I genuinely said, "How much money do you have?" And he literally fell out of his chair laughing. I don't know, I never understood why, because I don't know why I even asked the question, but I think I was starting to get this idea that there was some kind of difference between me and my friends. So I asked him anyway, but just little conversations that I would have with him on my own.
Now, there are some sort of melancholy themes, I don't know if you'd agree, in some of the songs. I was just looking through some of the lyrics. And one of the lines I picked out was, maybe in another life I was a snake or a vampire. I own up. Now, vampire is a phrase you talked about before in relation to people who surround famous people.
Right.
And I think everyone will know who we're talking about. We're talking about your father, number one. We're talking about Michael Jackson as well. And I know you're reluctant to talk about those things, but it's an interesting line, and it's something. I mean, you must be hugely conscious of that notion of the people who surround very famous people.
It's something that you have to always learn over and over and over again. I thought I was really good at it. I thought I was pretty good at spotting people and figuring that out because I was exposed to it so early in life, and I saw what surrounded my father, and what you surround yourself with is going to make or break you. That energy and those kinds of people. So. I thought I knew so much about it and could spot people, and I was pretty good at it, but then I found myself completely surrounded by the wrong people and wrong situations that weren't what I thought they were, and I had to relearn all over again, and I kind of started from ground zero, which led me to literally sell everything I had in California and moved into the middle of nowhere in England, countryside.
And you said that you found the inspiration again because of that. So what did something suddenly happen, or was it a gradual process that?
I think it was just being so far away and just seeing people that were normal and loyal and knew right from wrong, and just simplicity and normalcy I found. And that just, actually, that was all it took. And just, you know, loyalty. And I don't know, I found things here to be more genuine and real, which I found, and simple things you might not even think about, but for me meant a lot. Like just, you know, being protective and just people being real friends. So that was refreshing.
And there, I mean, listening to the album, there are sort of hints. So I was thinking that things like Johnny Cash, and then Roy Orbison, you can kind of feel some of those influences coming through. Is that how you felt?
In terms of the writing of it?
Yeah, just some of the sounds, literally. Sometimes the simplicity of some of the music.
You know, the writers, you know, that I wrote with, Richard Hawley, Ed Harcourt, and Fran Healy, Sasha Scarbeck. It's strange because no matter which person I wrote with, this sound was just it was just, you know, sort of coming to life. And it's very organic, kind of Americana, and it all happened in England, which everyone in America found very ironic. So.
Well, we're very pleased that you adopted the UK, so thank you very much, and good to see you here
You're
today.
Very welcome
Thank
to
you.
be here. You're at the Bush Hall in London, aren't you, on the 4th of October?
I am, in fact.
And Lisa Marie's new album as well, Storm and Grace, is out on the 15th of October. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.